So when I got into doing these YouTube videos, I knew that there would be things that would be pet peeves of mine. I knew it might cause conflict in some situations or create a point of discussion. So in a discussion I was having with someone, we got to talking about thumbnails, and so when I look at the arena of thumbnails that are currently out there on display, some of these things look really ridiculous. So I figured I'd make a video here just to kind of lay down what my thoughts are and go on record here. So as content creators, we all want our videos to get as many views and clicks as possible, but sometimes we resort to cheap tricks to get there. Clickbait titles and thumbnails in particular have become pervasive issues on YouTube, with many creators using them to lure viewers into watching their content. This approach can actually backfire in the long run as viewers begin to feel deceived and annoyed by the constant use of clickbait and exaggerated facial expressions. Moreover, it can undermine the credibility and authenticity of the content, which ultimately affects the reputation of the creators. So in this video, I'm going to dive deep into problems with clickbait and exaggerated facial expressions and why it's important for creators to be mindful of the tactics they use. We'll explore how clickbait works, show examples of clickbait and exaggerated facial expressions in YouTube videos, and discuss why these tactics can harm both viewers and creators. Finally, I'll provide some tips on how to create honest and effective thumbnails that accurately represent the content of the video. By the end of this video, you'll gain valuable insights into the world of clickbait and exaggerated facial expressions on YouTube, and hopefully be more mindful of the content you create and consume. So what is clickbait? Clickbait is a marketing strategy used by content creators to attract viewers by using sensationalized titles and thumbnails that often misrepresent the actual content of the video. These titles and thumbnails are designed to create a sense of curiosity or intrigue, leading viewers to click the video to satisfy their curiosity. However, clickbait is a double-edged sword. While it may increase views and clicks in the short term, it can ultimately harm the credibility and authenticity of the content and the creator. Clickbait can create a sense of distrust and annoyance amongst viewers who feel misled or deceived by the title or thumbnail. This can lead to a loss of trust and loyalty, which can negatively impact the creator's reputation in the long run. So as creators, it's important to understand the impact of clickbait and use it judiciously, if at all. While it may be tempting to use clickbait to get more views and clicks, it's important to remember that content quality and relevance should be the primary factors that determine the success of the video. Okay, so if I put up these titles and you look at the screen, what comes to your mind? You got it. Clickbait. There's three reasons why these clickbait titles might work. The title or thumbnail creates a sense of curiosity or urgency that makes people want to click it. The title or thumbnail promises a reward or benefit for watching the video, such as a life-changing hack or shocking revelation. The title or thumbnail appeals to people's emotions or desires, such as their curiosity, fear, or need for entertainment. So, you've looked at two aspects of YouTube videos that can be problematic: clickbait titles, thumbnails, and exaggerated facial expressions. How do these elements actually harm creators? Well, for one thing, using clickbait and exaggerated facial expressions can erode viewers' trust and the respect for the creator. Viewers who feel deceived or manipulated by clickbait titles or thumbnails are less likely to trust that creator in the future and may even unsubscribe or leave negative comments. Similarly, viewers who feel put off or annoyed by exaggerated facial expressions may view the creator as inauthentic or disingenuous. Another issue with clickbait and exaggerated facial expressions is that they can create a sense of pressure for the creator to constantly perform and deliver content that lives up to those expectations. This can lead to burnout and stress, as well as a feeling of being trapped in a persona that may not reflect that creator's true self. Finally, clickbait and exaggerated facial expressions can also impact the quality and relevance of the content itself. If creators are more focused on creating catchy titles and thumbnails or performing exaggerated facial expressions, they may not be dedicating as much time and effort to developing high-quality, meaningful content. So while it can be tempting to use clickbait and exaggerated facial expressions as a way to attract viewers and increase engagement, it's important for viewers to think about the long-term consequences of these tactics. Next, we'll discuss some alternative strategies that creators can use to create compelling content without relying on clickbait or exaggerated facial expressions. Now that we talked about some of the problems with clickbait titles and thumbnails, let's focus on some tips for creating effective and honest thumbnails. First and foremost, make sure your thumbnail accurately represents the content of your video. This means avoiding misleading images or text that might imply something that's not actually in the video. Instead, think about what visuals might best capture the essence of your video and try to create a thumbnail that represents that. Another tip is to keep your thumbnail simple and clear. Avoid cluttering the image with too much text or too many elements, as this can be overwhelming or confusing to viewers. Instead, focus on one or two visual elements that convey the theme or message of your video. In addition, consider using custom graphics or images in your thumbnail rather than relying on stills from your video. This can help your thumbnail stand out from others in search results or on recommended video lists. It's also important to use high-quality images that are also visually appealing and eye-catching. Make sure your thumbnail is well lit and focused and visually engaging. Finally, don't be afraid to get creative with your thumbnail. While it's important to be honest and accurate, there are many ways to visually represent your content in a compelling way. Think outside the box and experiment with different layouts, colors, and design elements to find a thumbnail that really pops. By following these tips, you can create thumbnails that are both effective and honest, and that will help attract viewers who are genuinely interested in your content. So that's it for today's discussion on clickbait titles and thumbnails and why exaggerated facial expressions can actually harm your credibility as a creator. We talked about what clickbait is, problems it can cause, and some tips for creating effective and honest thumbnails. Ultimately, the key takeaway is that honesty and authenticity should always be your top priority as a content creator. While it may be tempting to use sensational headlines or exaggerated facial expressions to grab viewers' attention, in the long run, this can actually harm your reputation and undermine the quality of your content. So, as you create your next video, take some time to really think about your thumbnail and title. Consider how it represents your content and whether it accurately conveys the value you're offering your audience. By creating honest and engaging thumbnails, you'll be setting yourself up for success and building a loyal fan base that trusts and respects your work. If we all pull together, maybe we can change the ridiculous thumbnails that I've been looking at every time I cut on YouTube. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you found this discussion valuable. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. Catch you on the next video.
This video was brought to you by Beatbox. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to help support the channel.